Hello，大家好，我是 Mela Kirby，这个是《The Forgotten City》剧情流程第三部分。那在上个部分，我们其实已经发现了很多事情了，例如黄金律法的一些规则，然后呢就是还有就是这个地方是属于什么样的境界哦？因为这个地方居然是冥界哦。那我们在游戏最一开始遇到的这个 NPC 呢，这个一个女生呢，她其实是这个引渡人哦，冥界的引渡人。那认识到这是冥界之后呢，我们又找到了很多关于就是为什么我们可以一直循环的真相。原来是里面有一个这个行政官，他已经有点类似，也是知道这件事情吧。那也发现他也知道我们就是这个被这个一个神所请过来的一个人民吧之类的，就是要来解决这个黄金律法的事情哦。那我们也解决了一些部分当地人的一些麻烦跟矛盾吧。那碍于一些原因呢，就是如果呢你在这个游戏里面，你如果把一个 NPC 弄到就是他气到不想跟你说话的话呢，就算后面呢你有触发到一些任务，然后也可以去做解决的话，他也会因为很生气不想理你，所以这个就没有办法继续下去哦，只能等到下一次的轮回，你才能够把这个事情给解决掉。那我想，我们距离这个结局应该还是有段距离哦。
Salve, friend. Oh.
哦，他只能做一件事情哎。
All right, let me see. Yulia. Oh no. All right.
哦，我们可以一次把所有事情告诉他。对，麦律勒斯的话，这个是假名哦。
What? Are you? You're serious, aren't you? I'll go.
这种方式确实也是蛮聪明的，因为在很多这种轮回性的游戏里面呢，你曾经做过的事情，因为轮回的关系哦，那导致就是这个你全部都得重做一遍。那他通过这种方式哦，就是我们在之前所发现的是，他还在继续发疯吧。这边我就只是我觉得这样还会好过一点，会比较正常，所以我才跟他讲的，应该是没有必要啦。还有就是这个东西到底，我还是不知道怎么搞。好吧，那这个游戏透过这个前面这个 NPC 的方式，它可以帮我们把我们早就已经知道的结论给做出来。那省得我们呢，就是浪费时间哦，在这个同样的事情上面再重演一次哦。那我是觉得这样还蛮聪明的这种做法，而且其实对玩家来讲，这也是比较简单一点，会好过一点。哦，然后他真的跑过去了，然后有对话哦，这也是蛮用心的在设计，确实 NPC 有在做他们自己的事情。然后这该死的迪修斯。
Hello there, friend.
哦，然后那个人也被压死了哦，了解了。
Oh well, let me know if you change your mind. Malleolus. I mean, Centius couldn't even keep his daughter safe. What? Not going to happen. It's terrible for inflation, of course. Oh well. No. Very well.
我也不可能改变他，因为现在我们的目标就是要想办法让这个大家都投给加列乌斯哦。
Greetings and salutations.
这个人会投，那个人会投，没关系，我们先把一些我们上次因为 NPC 生气，然后不愿意跟我们讲话，这个事情给解决掉。所以他活过来了，然后这边应该没有他们的事情，因为女人不能投票。哇，重男轻女的时代，以前就是这样子。虽然现在我觉得整个反过来了。我们得去找，就是。
Fear is proof of a degenerate mind.
那个很生气的佣兵在哪里呢？现在
Greetings
找不到
and
呢。
salutations.
Ah, a new fact. I hear. Nice to.
Hello? Hello? Bye bye.
唉，现在还不行，我们就剩这一块哦。我们在上个部分也拿到了3块这个名牌了，就只剩下这个家伙这一块了。那能够拿到让他的方法就是要释放他。哦，对，然后我们也帮这2个摆脱了奴隶的这个身份。唉，找不到人无脑啊！等一下，应该可以透过任务追踪的方式找到他吧？希望啊！哦，有真的。开始在哪里？
Just rest up, get your strength back, and we'll celebrate properly when you're ready.
I will. Thank you,
Name's Wolfie. What business is that of yours? Willow bark. And this will work? Oh, finally, some relief. This is what I've been praying for. Maybe God hasn't abandoned me after all. Thank you.
Salve.
I've been in a lot of pain lately. The rheumatism, these cursed statues always watching, and the crisis of faith. It was too much. Started messing with my head. This is exactly what I needed to set it straight again. I owe you one. No idea what you're... I think I have seen that plaque. Sorry I lied. Can't be too careful these days. Head into the caves behind... Oh.
秘密神殿的钥匙。
Didn't get that. Centius? No. No idea. It's... I'm going to go and clean up the graffiti. Just... forget this ever happened. Will you?
之前会无法说服他，是因为他被风湿痛弄到就是很暴躁。那现在因为已经解决了，所以好，这个任务就可以继续下去了。
Citizen.
这样的
Greetings and
话，
salutations.
这些事情就可以解决。虽然我不晓得这个能够改变什么。
Welcome. What demon or spirit told you about that? You went snooping in his place? That was risky. We're lucky you didn't cross any lines. Have you spoken to him about it? Really? How did you manage that? Poor fellow. I've heard that can
Lion
really mess
tamer.
with a person's head. Well done for figuring that out. Really? That's promising. I'll keep an eye out for him. Nice to talk to you.
解决是解决了，但是我觉得这好像没有什么特别的帮助哦。那我想接下来能够做的，这个应该做不到。目前我不晓得怎么样才能让他当行政官，因为如果让另一个人当选的话呢，这个还是会遭受杀戮哦，还是会有产生流血事件，然后呢引发这个黄金律法被违背的惩罚，就失败了。现在剩2条路可以走啊，找那个消失的森蒂拉，我想这个是比较合理的。因为前面这也是一样啊 ，NPC 被我弄到生气气，然后不想理我，所以无法继续下去。现在应该可以了吧
How come you're allowed a weapon and I'm not?
？Cause you're a fucking asshole. That's why.
Leave me.
他还是继续生气气啊，因为他已经被迫退出选举了。可是他老婆会那么生气吗？不知道。如果会的话，那这就是一个死循环了。
I'm not talk. The dainty little thing from next door. Of course not. As much as I despise her father, I would never lay a finger on that poor, sweet child. Well, Dimitri.
Okay. That's a pretty pleasant conversations right there. 那只能去找他姐姐了。
Oi! How did you get in? Keep an eye out for Santella, would you?
Oh, another one fresh out of the bar. Ugh, I wish Horatius. I'm sent. What? Really? I'd never have noticed. What with your. Now, you know, some people say it's. But what kind of an awful, incompetent god would let my sister go miss. Oh, I'd say. Did you hear that? What do you have? No response.
好吧，至少我们知道亵渎生命不会
I'm
违反
telling
黄金
you,
法则。
this mysterious god of ours has to be asleep on the job. Either that, or like people are saying, it really is just. I
所以
try.
他这里也没有任何线索，将森蒂拉的逃跑计划告诉森蒂啊。对啊，但是他没有这个选项啊。这个有吗？要找这里吗？哦，对，是这边啊。
That doesn't surprise me. To him, it was like a prize cow wandering off from its paddock. He's upset, of course, but he says he's too busy with the election to help look for her. So he's letting Horatius do the heavy lifting. Some good that's done. So you'll help me find her? Oh, you should probably take a look through her room. It's the one just by the front door. Maybe you'll find something the rest of us missed.
我已经超前部署了，不好意思。
What? Really? I swear, I searched her room top to bottom and never saw that. I wonder how I could have missed it. Strange, but well done, I suppose. But it's odd. It was only a few months ago that Sentilla's friend Yulia let slip she was planning an escape of her own. And yet, Yulia's still here.
尤利亚，
You should go and speak with her. Find out if she knows anything. She lives in the villa next door.
Okay, at least we got something. 尤利亚就是那个服毒想自
Keep
尽
an eye
的
out
人
for。Santella, would you?
Isn't the great temple
躺过城
majestic?
哦，如何解读这些低语声？哦，等一下，我们先把
Welcome.
尤利亚不知道去哪里了。 这样子看得到吗？哇，尤利亚跑太远了吧！
I hope you're coping. Sorry, I'm still a bit out of it. Galerius just saved my life. Was there something you wanted? No. I did hear from Ulpius that she disappeared. It's very sad. She was such a lovely young woman. But I'd been locked in Malleolus's villa for months before she went missing, so I can't help you, I'm afraid.
好吧。
You mean my life story? Oh, well, I grew up as part of a big family in Rome. Me and 3 older sisters. Our father found good husbands for my sisters, but I wasn't cut out for that kind of life. So he found me a job as a scribe for a prominent merchant. It was a good life for a while, until 7 months ago when the fires came. My colleagues and I worked desperately to try to protect our warehouse. We must have had 100 workers passing buckets of water, chanting prayers to Vulcan, but they fell on deaf ears. The fire was relentless and it claimed everything and everyone. Well, almost everyone. My employer told me to grab what valuables I could and flee for the Tiber with the crowds. I remember diving into the river and then... The next thing I knew, I was waking up on the riverbank not far from here. Thank you. I consider myself fortunate. At least I'm still alive.
Yeah.
You mean... my...
看错了。
If that's your idea of a joke, it's...
什么啊？不用那么生气吧。马上就生气气了欸。你有什么线索吗？这一个人是好像都到目前为止都是没有提过什么。
Salve, friend. Welcome. We've all. I used to lay awake at night. I still. Even if I had seen it, and I'm not saying I have, I couldn't in good con.
其实就是他干走的啊，然后我们已经拿到了。第一块拿到的10杯就是杯那个名牌就是这一块啊。这门上锁的好像也打不开，不晓得用什么钥匙才可以。目前还是有些谜团解不开哦，不过没关系，先把我们能知道的、能做的先做一做。
Be careful who you trust.
A new face.
这里的话，
Oh my. Let's see. Sit and
这些都是老对话了，所以
May. See you again.
哎呀，按错，按太快，不要再转身了。
Ave again. It must be completed by dusk, just the same as any other official business. It'll be between Sentius, the incumbent, and Galerius, the challenger. Why do you ask? Certainly.
好，他又要再吃惊一次。
I suppose. Oh.
我要怎么样？哦，
I don't.
等一下。
I don't, I'm afraid. Let's. I would. Wonderful. It goes like this. They go from door to door until finally they come to the little cottage. They invite these strangers in. They begin gulping down the and then she notices something says to her husband, Philemon, and the vagrants metamorphosize and reveal they confide they didn't mind the meager offerings. You have passed our test. But so old Baucis and Philemon escape up into. Meanwhile, Jupiter carries through. Some say the moral of that story is that we must all, but I like to think it's that we should all. I'm pleased.
刚刚他是有说要我去询问，但是又一样啊。询问，对啊，如何解读？奇怪，他怎么会这样呢？
I don't.
我看一下哦。
As I mentioned, if the true, then it can you tell?
哦，可以了，逆流而上，眼泪淌过，那其实就是在讲那个嘛。
That is strange. There are no rivers here.
那控制水闸的那个门啊，哎，对啊，蓄水池。
Right, because the current flows into the city through the aqueduct and into the upper cistern. I vaguely recall wondering what was in there, but the door at the back of the great temple is locked up tight. You might be able to get a key from the magistrate, but if that doesn't work, perhaps you can find another way in. Let me know if you find anything in there. May fortune.
还有个问题是剧院的位置，我不知道剧院在哪里，因为他们讲了剧院的这个往右边走，往右边走，然后还有提到钥匙，我还拿到钥匙。还说剧院其实就是一开始我们看到那个像旅馆的，因为罗马的那个碑文。 我们确实是早就拿到了。
How come you're allowed a weapon?
I hope you have a good reason for flouting my weapons ban. We're finally alone. We have? Wait, if I understand correctly, I must have entrusted you with figuring out who the... Is that about? Ah, I see. Look, it's unfortunate, but now I think it's best if I hang on to it.
Why?
You mean to ask, why am I unwilling to trust an... I'm sorry. And I'm beginning to wonder... I'm glad to hear that. Now, was there something else? Ask then. Good. Of course. What is... Well, if you allow the crux of it, if I... Excellent. Of course. Yeah. Why do you... Thank you. Well then, in that case, as much as it pains me to do so, I must act decisively to ensure the survival of my people. As magistrate, I hereby declare him an enemy of Rome and authorize his execution by your hand, forthwith.
I don't
believe so, no. It's not a crime to carry out the lawful order of a magistrate. So now you're an expert on Roman law, are you? Listen to me. We are cut off from the Empire down here, fending for ourselves. If ever there was a time to dispense with legal procedure, it would be now. Then perhaps you would prefer... Now is not the time for cowardice in the guise of philosophy. Any way you can. I would think that bow you're... Thank you. Please.
主角哦，这真的假的啊？我觉得不行哎。这个我们先留着。
Keep an eye
That's
out for
quite an
Santella, would you?
impressive bow you have there. Just like Diana.
What is it, citizen? All right.
感觉好像有线索，但是追寻了之后又好像没有得到一些该有的。现在感觉又卡关了。蓄水池的钥匙，唉，这个地方也不是通往蓄水池啊，所以我不知道为什么这个是我们出来的地方，所以。虽然我也还没有拿到蓄水池的钥匙，问题是，但是就是，哦，我知道了，那蓄水池的钥匙应该就是那个门吧？我不晓得，应该就最上面这边了，感觉上啊。我们就差一块。浮雕，一座浮雕，描绘了巨大圆形入口和普洛塞庇娜，掌管生命轮回新生的罗马女神。好吧，那没什么关系。哦，这是我们来的地方。哦 shit！ 啊，摔死了。Oops. Where are we? 他这里说我还是可以去找生问他，我上次有问过啊，但他不鸟我啊。
What now? Listen, you don't.
对啊，他不讲啊。
Whatever. Hey, you're not thinking about going into the cistern, are you? Nobody's told you about Hannibal? Ugh, why do I have to do everything round here? So, there was this guy called Hannibal, right? Funny accent. Used to go down into the cisterns looking for junk he could clean up and sell. One day, a few weeks back, he comes out and tells me the cisterns are haunted. Said he could hear spirits wailing. Of course, nobody believed him, because who trusts a Carthaginian, right? Anyway, a few days later he goes back in, and hours go by, and he hasn't come back out, yeah? So I go down after him, and it's dark. But in the distance I can just make out his body, sprawled out on the ground, and hunched over him was something that made my blood run cold. No word of a lie, I saw a creature. Like the corpse of a man who'd been flayed.
Wow.
And it was eating Hannibal. If it was a man, maybe. But I swear on my life this was no man. More like a Strix. Or some Versipelus that feeds on human flesh.
有只怪物在里
I
面。
didn't stick around to see which. What any sane person would have done. I legged it out of there and put a sign at the door to warn the others. Well, it's your funeral.
哎呀，但是我没钥匙吧？哎，没有，他直接让我去哦。哦，好啊。我一直都不知道这个门，我一直都没有注意到这有个门。那只怪物啊！一条月亮吊坠。 Then the death， 这不会是他的尸体吧？哎，他会看我哎。哼。压死的生物，一个瘦弱的身上溅满。 金子的人形生物看起来好像是从洞窟进入蓄水池时被压死的。OK。多剑啊！这里可以再往前走。那有没有其他地方啊？好像没有了嘛，应该没路了啊。就只是钱啊！ 我还以为是什么重要的东西啊！哇，现在好像不是很需要钱。他说的怪物呢？没看到啊。还是说是因为这个摊塌的关系，所以也没得去了。我还稍微有点期待啊，会有一只很恐怖的怪物。Well, it seems like it. 哦，这可以爬上去啊！Oh, that's interesting. 正在宽一哦，准备洗澡，然后就 GG 了，是不是？ 一个年轻人哦，司机骑上到安全的地方。OK。所以即使没有钥匙，我们还是可以。我们还是可以到达的。这里是上部蓄水池，怎么有个人在那边呢、被绑住了。这是圣地亚吗？应该是哦。得到一个成就，但来不及看是什么。对，这应该是圣地亚了。
You? Who are you? Did he send you? Do you know you're here? You have to help me escape.
A monster,
before that
huh?
monster comes back. I'm Centella.
果然是圣地
I
郎。
found a way out through the gate of Horn, but it's locked. So I told him about it, and instead of helping me escape, he locked me up. He wants to keep us all here forever, or until we're turned to gold. He's a monster. You have to let me go so we can kill him and take his key.
谁啊
Sentius, my adoptive father.
？Oh my god！
Furies help me. I'll castrate and crucify him. I don't know. He said the gods are on his side because they don't want us to escape either. Behind me, there's an aqueduct tunnel bringing water from outside the city, so it should lead us outside. The only problem is it's barred by a heavy locked gate, and he has the only key.
还是很奇怪，怎么可能？真蒂乌斯那个家伙，他为了开启传送门，牺牲了自己的生命呢？难道说他是希望所有的人都被困在这边出不去吗
I'm going to take that key from around his neck, even if it means cutting his throat to get it.
Oh my
I'm done
God.
caring about the golden rule. I just want out. Help me, and we can escape together.
仔细想想，如果他真的只是希望大家能够被困在这边的话，真蒂拉想要逃跑而被抓住，然后甚至遭到这种下场，好像也是蛮合理的吧。
There won't be enough time. Just you and me. What do you say?
抱歉，如果把你放走，其他所有人都会死。
There's no time. Wait, did you hear that? He's here. Quick, you have to let me go. It's now or never. What? No, you can't just leave me here. How can you be so heartless? It's no use. You'll never persuade him of anything. I'm telling you, he's a monster. Please. You're making a mistake.
Yeah, maybe I'm making a mistake, but. 这一个门应该是通往外面，然后真蒂巫师身上有这个钥匙。让他逃走绝对是没有好下场的，因为这个他，而且他说他会把他干掉，应该会违反黄金律法。 好吧，总之我们就先，喂，我差点，我本来想说直接跳下去。 所以没有他看到那个怪物。我们出来了。
So you survived the system. Probably just a stroke of fortuna. Don't get cocky.
I hope you have a good reason for flouting. We're finally alone. I must have entrusted you with figuring out who the culprit is. Is that about? Ah, look, it's unfortunate. Me? What are you talking about? You know, you remind me of him. Alworth.
Oh, Al.
The fellow who came through the portal before you. Come now. Surely you didn't think you were the only one here who remembered.
所以他其实什么都知道。
You see, my connection to the portal somehow preserves my memories from one room to the next. Whether that was Proserpina's intention or a happy accident, I'll never know. But I'm surprised you hadn't noticed. Here I was thinking you're a little bit sharper than Al was. Or perhaps you're just more willing to break the rules. He was a moralistic fellow, never once compromised on his principles. And because of that fatal flaw, he relived this day many thousands of times before we finally had this conversation. I watched him come through the portal each time, always a little older, a little more disheveled, a little more haunted. And when he finally saw the futility of it all, as you're about to, it broke him. He drank a jug of wine, tied a noose around his neck, and took his own life, just before he was shot with a golden arrow. The next time I awoke, you showed up, but you've caught up to where he was so quickly. I mean, you've lived through the day, what, 4 times? Extremely impressive.
你还有在算哦。
And yet everything you've done has been in vain, because there's no escape. Except the path that Al took, the path he wrote about on his tablet. What was it? Ah, yes. Best to take your own life. So, you've discovered my secret. So what? What are you going to do about it?
你知道离开这里的路径，但不惜把自己的女儿关起来，要保守这个秘密，为什么？
Why? Isn't it obvious? Because I have grown attached to all this. My title, my beautiful villa, the sun on my face, the music of birds chirping. And as long as this day keeps repeating itself, I get to enjoy it all, over and over again, for eternity. Don't you see? I have found a way to prolong my life indefinitely, to cheat death. I have become, in effect, as immortal as the gods. Can you honestly say you would not wish the same for yourself? And why would I agree to that? You might want to think that through. If anyone so much as touches me, everyone dies. Oh, you and your pathetic morality. Nobody cares about your opinions or what happens, where you're from. Least of all, me. Understand that to me, you've never been anything more than a useful idiot, and you're no longer useful.
我和你没完是怎样？
The only way you're getting this key is over my dead body. And if I die, I won't be able to open the portal for you again, meaning you'll have created a paradox. You see, it was my actions that brought you to this point in time. So if you kill me, you'll stop me from doing so, and you being here will be an impossibility. That means if I die, you'll be flung back to your original time, having caused the deaths of everyone here, and you'll never be able to undo it. Is that what you want?
目前可能对他没辙吧。
I certainly hope not. In fact, I want it to go on and on forever until you wither and die like Al did, and the gods send yet another useful idiot to extend my life for me. What are you going to do? Beg the gods for help? They don't care about you, and neither do I. Now, get out of my villa. I'm bored with you.
这下子非常麻烦啊。诸神吗？所以只能问他了。我猜是没什么方法。他居然回到这里，我之前来这里找他都找不到。
Harvey again. Sir. As I wouldn't say, but first, I suspect it.
方尖碑的这没用。
As I meant, the problem.
我已经找到逃出去的方法了。
Truly? Then why are you still here?
因为走那条路会牺牲掉这里所有人，我不想那么多。
I see. Then it seems you have made a great sacrifice for all of us, friend. I admire your compassion. Truly. Thank you. But unfortunately, I'm afraid your only other option will be to confront you-know-who. Tell me, has she told you anything that might lead you to the way out? Truly.
没有，又重复了。
Shh. I'll admit, you do so. If you want to, who knows? But first, the problem is, the door has been sealed. It looked.
啊，所以我们也只能去找。
As I
还有按错了。我们只能去找，我们只能拿到第4块这个名牌了。问题是，我要怎么样才能确保他们都投给他
a word they tell you. Shalom. All right, friend.
A few moments later.
直接投票吧，看看结果怎么样。
Harvey. It'll be what? As a. Well, I wouldn't describe. Yeah, very. Citizens, it is time. Let us meet to elect our magistrate.
啊，我应该要把他的事情跟他底下那个士兵讲的，也许他也会改成投别人。哇，我没想到。还有人没到吗？我卡住了。哦。
Citizens, we have a quorate body of voters gathered here to elect the city's magistrate. The candidates are Sextus Sentius Imperiosus and late nominee Gallus Galerius Helva. Marcus Malleolus Gurges withdrew his candidacy earlier today. As agreed, we shall dispense with ballots and candidates will abstain from voting. Let's make this quick. As I say your name, call your vote. I'll start with you, Horatius.
Sentius, of course.
Georgius.
Galerius. He saved the life of my dear friend Fabia.
Dacius.
Galerius.
Virgil.
Cynthius.
Ulpius.
Galerius, the man who saved my life.
Rufius.
Malleolus.
Citizens, you have made your decision. Your new magistrate is Gallus Galerius Helva.
哦，票数是够的。
It has been decided. Magistrate Galerius, would you like to make a brief address?
I just want to say, this isn't something I ever wanted. Now that you put your trust in me, I'm going to do everything I can not to let you down. I'll need some time to put together a list of the changes I want to make around here. But I promise you, there will be changes. My first order is that Dooley is to be freed. Horatius, release him from his cell immediately. Please. Wait, do I need to say please? I suppose not. That's it. You can all get on with your day. Nothing else to see here. Move along.
OK， 那这样子我们应该就可以拿到那个希腊的名牌了。应该会有人跑过来把它打开吧。
Salve. Wonder how much one of these statues
It
is worth
gladdens
on
my
the
heart
outside.
that Galerius set poor Dooley free. I will cherish this moment.
Fortune smiles on you today, Julius. Magistrate Galerius here has ordered your release.
You're going to let me out of here?
I'm sorry it took so long, my friend. And it wouldn't have happened at all if it wasn't for a newcomer. So be sure to offer your thanks when you can.
I will. I will. Thank you, Galerius. I'm so happy.
I'd love to stay and chat, but I've got a lot of work ahead of me. Why don't you go to the baths? Then tell Georgius I said you could have some new clothes. Then I want you to go home and rest. I'll speak with you soon, Dooley.
OK。
Hello? I'm Dooley. Magistrate Galerius said I should thank the newcomer. Are you the newcomer? Oh, thank you. You're a big helper. You can have my shiny, and maybe you can help me find my friend Hannibal used to look after me. But before that, he told me if anything ever happened. What was in there? Was it gold? And I'm confused. Oh, look over there. Maybe it is treasure. I could see it for myself. So pretty. It's just lying out here.
所以他会打破这个黄金法则吧？
Maybe no one will mind if I just
Salve.
Wait a minute.
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
行政官也是把杜伊关起来，是为了防止他非法侵入人家的财产。我写这封信是因为你对所谓的失落的财宝的痴迷到无可救药的地步，与你犯下反社会的行为。巴拉巴拉巴拉巴拉巴拉，然后希望你能记住个重要讯息：你所寻找的财宝已经不在。因为那个人是发现，那个人是已经发现了。 那个人是已经发现那个圣地巫师的秘密了，所以他才会把他关起来。这个时候我们确实是可以这么做，但是有件事情我想要做一下的。有一个金雕像一直守在门口，不让我们去 进到那个房间哦，我倒是蛮想知道它里面关的是什么。如果没摔死的话 ，OK， that hurts。4000块跟12支箭，哇哦，这真值哎。 直接被爆头了，好吧，至少我知道发生什么事情了。里面的箱子不怎么值钱了，4000块是很多没错，但是
Then I want you to go home and rest. I'll speak with you soon, Dooley.
快速跳过。 上部蓄水池的钥匙，其实也不需要。
In the system. Oh, maybe it is treasure. I can see it for myself. So pretty. And it's just lying out here. Maybe nobody wants it.
Salve, friend. I wanted to say thanks now. Well, now that I've had Dooley, to be honest, I didn't really have much. In the meantime, I guess somebody...
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
OK， 那我想应该快结束了吧？这样名牌我们全部都拿到手了。
Salve, friend.
有人快要违反黄金法则了，我需要你召集除了圣地巫师之外所有人，让他们做好准备，地震一开始就跑进上部蓄水池。
What? That's a big ask. But something tells me you're not kidding. All right, I'm gonna stick my neck out and believe you. but I doubt I'll be able to gather more than a handful of people.
好，看来确实是要结束了。虽然这很不合理啊，他怎么会直接相信你呢？不晓得。我想算了，没关系。
Ixion turns.
然后现在要做就是直接往上跑。
Whatever's in that great temple up there on the bluff.
怎样？方尖碑的路，
On your best behavior, I trust.
这里。然后继续走。
Salve, welcome. Ah. All right.
I can't believe this is how it ends.
Oh no. No. No, 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 no. Oh, P.S. What?
That's the...
What?
Why? I'm sorry.
Please help.
You...
这边就直接阻止他就好了。
No, I am out. Wherever you are, Scintilla, my love.
What the...
I'm sorry.
Fuck.
Oh, P.S. No!
What?
I'll have... and I...
为什么？不是啊，为什么 ？Oh my god, really？ 啊，我在上个轮回插进去了，哦，现在又得回去拿哦。啊，那为什么这块已经放了呢？哦，不是，我可以直接放哦，还好还好。 Okay, a loading. 奇怪，为什么还是我会无法阻止他自杀？说出他的名字，布鲁托，财富之父。布鲁托，并不是哦。 阿迪斯，哦，这是一层又一层的哦，我知道了。那最后一个应该是奥西里斯，对，一个一个被覆盖的。最后是狂暴之王。Oh my gosh, fucking serious！ 这都是假的吗？太高科技了吧！ 地球嘞
And here you are. Allow me to introduce myself. As you have already gathered, I've been known by many names. Nergal to the Sumerians, Osiris to the Egyptians, Hades to the Greeks, and Pluto to the Romans. But the one constant through it all has been my title, God of the Underworld. And I've been watching you with curiosity, mortal, ever since your arrival. You're unlike the others, aren't you? And what is more, you carry a weapon that was never intended for mortals to wield, and you do it so gracefully. But there will be time for your reckoning later. First, as a reward for undoing the desecration of my obelisk, I will allow you to satisfy your curiosity. Ask what you will. My story is many thousands of years long. You will need to be more specific. What do you wish to know?
你左边的女人是谁？你右手边的这位呢？
It is a matter of perspective. Your ancestors revered me because to them, my knowledge and technology made me incomprehensibly powerful. Just as you, but despite all that, my kin and I all adopted this form long ago, so that we might better understand and communicate with your kind. In time, we grew fond of the sensory delights it affords: desire, joy, ecstasy, even rage and sorrow, while an acquired taste can be addictive. No. Long ago, I swore to Persephone that I would remain in this form for as long as we remained among your kind. I must honor that. This is my beloved. Like me, she has been known by many names. Ereshkigal to the Sumerians, Isis to the Egyptians, Persephone to the Greeks, and Proserpina to the Romans. Or perhaps you might know her as the goddess of springtime, the cycle of life and renewal.
哦，确实是他在帮助我们。
Your gaze lingers too
long. 漂亮的老婆，人家多看几眼应该很正常吧？
That is my servant. You would have met by the river, though she wears many faces and goes by many names. Kumutubal to the Sumerians, Kirti to the Egyptians, Charon to the Greeks, and Charon to the Romans. Her role is to ferry souls between the mortal world and this one, and to make their transition as seamless as possible. For that, she earned herself the infamous, if erroneous, moniker, the Ferryman. You will talk more later. For now, ask your questions. As you wish. It has come to be known simply as the Underworld, and it exists because of a wager I made long ago. That is a long story. You see, long ago my kin and I set out from our home on Elysium to search for other forms of life among the stars. We discovered your planet and witnessed your kind evolving from primates into something lawless and barbaric. You all but destroyed yourselves, your 2 short lives being extinguished by violence and ignorance, yet Proserpina saw raw potential. Persuaded the rest of us it would be squandered without our intervention, so we revealed ourselves to your people in a place called Sumer. For a time you flourished, but soon you were too many for us to oversee. And as you spread from that cradle of civilization, we had sown the seeds of dependency and confusion. And soon you returned to your old... My kin had seen enough, and gave up. But my Proserpina could not bear to abandon your kind without guidance. She made an extraordinary sacrifice.
放弃了永生，并永久降到人类的位格。
And so she began her inescapable trajectory. Horrified, I acted swiftly. I placed her in suspended animation, in a deep frozen sleep, to prevent age. And then I pleaded with Proserpina's father, who the Romans called Jupiter, to bring her with us to Elysium. It was and is my hope that one... But he refused. I did everything I could to persuade him. But humans were unworthy of ascension to Elysium. But seeing that I was aggrieved, if even one human city could prove itself capable of living without, then Proserpina and all of humanity would be permitted to join us in it. My part would be to remain behind, the last of my kind. And so my reward has been to languish here, enduring a 3,000-year winter, waiting so that I might take her with me to Elysium. And here I am. There were also gods who, like our leader Jupiter, as well as Neptune, Saturn, Juno, Minerva, Mars, Venus, Apollo, Diana, Vulcan, Vesta, Ceres, and of course, my beloved. As the first wave of your kind arrived from Sumer, I had them build a city in their own fashion, so that they might be comfortable, and I had them build the entrance as a vertical shaft leading to baths, to cleanse them of the sins of their former lives. I watched wave after wave of
of Sumerians arrive, and as their civilization declined over the centuries, they were replaced by Egyptians. Of course, believing themselves to be the superior civilization. After another 1,000 years, the Greeks began to arrive. They built upon the underworlds of their predecessors. To ensure the wager was fair, it was important that my subjects were chosen at random. To this end, I had my servant distribute 1,000 tokens fashioned from silver, a rare element at the time. Whoever died while in possession of one of them would be located by my servant and ferried to this place, with no memory of how they arrived. As the tokens were discovered, they were traded, smelted, and fashioned into trinkets, and eventually coins, spreading to Egypt. Later, when they spread to Greece, they would come to be known as Charon's Oboe, or as coins. Some placed coins in the mouths of their dead, hoping they would awaken here. In fact, almost all of the tokens are accounted for. Only 2 remain. And so after this wave destroys itself, as it is destined to do, your kind will have squandered the last of its potential to ascend beyond this rock, and Persepolis along with it. It is a regrettable story. One of the first men who came to this place was a king. To be rid of him, I returned him to his people, on the condition that my servant erased his memories. But the erasure did not take completely. And he told stories of this. His tales were committed to writing, which came to be known as the Epic of Gilgamesh. And his words were twisted and distorted. Later, the Egyptians would adapt Sumer's stories of the underworld. Their Book of the Dead and Book of Gates bore less and less resemblance to this place. Then, when the Greeks began to arrive, they proved far more cunning. And in a series of incidents that will not be repeated, 5 of them escaped. A warrior named Heracles, 2 kings named Sisyphus and Theseus, a poet named Orpheus, and a Trojan named Aeneas. They each told embellished tales of this place. And so from Sumer to Egypt, Greece to Rome, your kind has always told each other stories about this place. Of course, that is merely the name your people have given to it, but that is a story dating back to the very first wave. After the Sumerians finished building their city, the self-declared ruler threw a banquet to celebrate. Now this man was unmarried, and many women were vying to become his wife, a prestigious position of power and influence in a new world. Of all the women, 2 were particularly ambitious. Both were beautiful, and both arrived at the banquet wearing eye-catching dresses and painted faces, their hair woven in elaborate fashion. The first woman, recognizing that she would require an advantage to win the ruler's affection, draped herself in jewelry, ornate necklaces, bracelets, and rings fashioned from gold. Seeing this ostentatious display, the second woman grew envious, for she had no such jewelry at her disposal. She prayed aloud to any gods that would listen to cover her in gold. And when her prayer went unanswered, she took matters into her own hands. While the others indulged at the banquet, the second woman summoned the first for a discussion in a quiet place. She checked that nobody was watching and pushed her rival from the top of the ziggurat, where she broke her neck on the rocks below. But I was watching, and I decided to answer her prayer. I took the golden bow left behind by Diana, and I shot that woman in the heart, covering her from head to toe in a layer of molten gold. And I left her to stand there, that she might serve as a grim reminder of what befalls those who sin in my domain. But that was not enough, for the entire city was tainted by her sin, and the wager could no longer be won. So I had no choice but to wipe the slate clean. I gilded them all to make way for a new wave, and began the wager again. And to this day, each of them, and all who came after, line the halls of this city, inanimate but conscious. suspended in time with only their sight and hearing preserved, so they may bear witness to and lament the folly of your kind for eternity, the silent golden sentinels. I give your kind a second chance at life, as well as ample warning about my law. And when you disobey, and you always disobey, you force my hand, bringing terrible suffering upon yourselves. And so you ask if I am the one destroying your lives. And I say, no, you destroy yourselves. I am merely the means by which you do it. When my kin departed, they left behind many relics which I inherited. A consolation prize of sorts. The golden bow originally belonged to one of my kin, who the Romans called Diana. As my collection of golden statues grew, I chose the most ferocious among them, and equipped them each with a duplicate of her bow, and tasked them with hunting down the Forsaken at my behest. They became known simply as Furies. I've always considered that the cornerstone of morality is the ability to determine right from wrong on one's own. No attempt to lay out rules like your Code of Hammurabi or your 12 Tables of the Roman Republic can ever cover all possible scenarios. This should come as no surprise to you, since the core principle has been expressed in many forms by many of your civilizations. The Egyptians made a rudimentary attempt with "do to the doer" to make him do. The Greeks refined it with "avoid doing what you would blame others for doing." The Roman Stoics added, "treat your inferior as you would wish your superior to treat you." Even the so-called cultists hiding among you often say, "Do unto others as you would have them do unto you." It is the simplest of concepts, and each one of you is born with the faculties required to apply it to any situation. Yet none of the peoples who expressed this rule were able to uphold it. Curious, is it not?
这样的规则应用起来，其实并不像听起来那么容易。
For you, perhaps. I'm able to commune with all of the statues.
果然如此啊。
Their ears are my... If she was still conscious, I suppose she could, but... Then what an odd... Do you plan to speak in sweeping generalizations? Ah, yes. Taking one's own life is a self-directed act. It is not one that is done to others. Therefore, it cannot be said that one who could... Applying this rule always requires us to interpret the meaning of the words. A literal interpretation helps to minimize the ambiguities of your primitive language. Supposing you're right, and my law has been broken, and I should turn you all to gold immediately. Is that what you want? Then your desire to be right outweighs your desire. You will make a...
怎么会突然打起来啊？黄金猎弓不知道对方没有木弓，我觉得更没用吧。黄金猎弓。
Do you really think you can wound me, a god, with that primitive weapon?
You're crying.
Pathetic. The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
So 所以他的房间在哪里？不知道。唉 ，What the hell！ 我是没想到会突然打起来。 这有够远的啊。
That is merely... Good. Then now it is time for your reckoning. Only, it seems, something is wrong. It has long been within my power to see into the hearts of mortals and weigh their deeds in life. But when I peer into you, I see only a blank slate, as if you did not exist until you appeared in this city. How is this possible? Charon, where did you find this one?
I do not remember ferrying you. How did you come here?
可能你年纪大，所以健忘。我来自未来。
That is true. Then I sense the intervention of someone powerful.
How did you come to be in this time, mortal? Who brought you here?
We cannot know.
I do not know. My kin departed long ago, and Proserpine has slumbered for 3,000 years. Tread lightly, mortal. Enough of this. It seems I will need to put your reckoning on hold for now. But answer this. Why have you come here? What is it you seek?
我只是想离开这里。
Selfish little creature. It is out of the question. You know far too much now, and would only corrupt the wager. You will remain here as my servant until the wager is won, or the golden rule is broken. It is not open for discussion. Your hubris is amusing, so I will allow you to make your case. But I warn you, if you anger me or waste my time with lies or wrong-headed arguments, you face death here. So, tell me, why should I put an end to the so-called golden rule?
黄金法则正在腐化这座城市，并确保你永远不能赢得赌约。这个应该是最有说服力的。前面两个，第一个根本就是不可能，根本就是在找死。而且我想，弗洛塞平常也不是不爱他。如果你自己都有罪，又怎么能期望我们过无罪的生活？你对神这样讲没什么屁用吗？这只有第三个最有可能，虽然我觉得不太可能。
How so? And be specific. You have made a grave allegation, and I expect you to back it up.
迪修斯对救命妖蛮天起价，因为他知道没有人能用暴力将他抢走。鲁菲乌斯变得非常偏执，对一些捕风捉影的事情过分激动，例如维吉尔的，那是因为他有风湿病吧？奥雷利亚正在利用人们渴望逃走的心理，向他们出售毒品。麦洛引诱人们签下卖身契，使他们相信违背。对啊，除了第二个以外，我觉得1、3、4都很有可能。
True, I have witnessed him doing that.
然后3
I admit, I have grown disturbed watching that. His cruelty does seem to grow greater by the day. He is a volatile and confused fellow, that one. If you're right, my involvement has corrupted the very thing I sought to observe impartially. But if I were to accept that, are you telling me these humans could coexist peacefully, without theft or violence, without my law?
不可能，但在特殊情况下，人类会使用武力来校正他们的社会。
How so?
我们使用暴力来阻止坏的行为、改造罪犯以及推翻暴君。
And how is that working for you?
在我的故乡2000以后，这个机制运行得很好，预期寿命在增加，犯罪在降低，是没错，但是
And yet your world is still imperfect.
Of course， 我们的世界永远都不会是完美的。但创造一个乌托邦所需要的暴力，最终会不可避免地造就一个暴君。没错，应该是这个了。
You have spoken eloquently, and yet, if what you say is true, it follows that my wager was fatally flawed from the beginning. But that would mean Jupiter, Preservator's father, who knew more about you than anyone, proposed a wager I could never win. Why would he do that?
也许他也犯了一个错误，也许他感受到你的威胁，不想要伊西利恩出现一个潜在的挑战者。也许他想让你放弃赌约，这样子，你老婆就会解脱。哇，这有点太直接了哎。
A mistake, but he is the best and greatest of us.
也许当你变成人类的形态之后，你也获得了某些人类弱点啊，这个倒是比较合理。第一个就是呛他而已，不可能。
Your words sting me, mortal. But perhaps it is what I deserve. As difficult as this is to admit, I have suspected as much for a long time now. And I cannot deny it any longer. I've been so fixated on taking my beloved to Elysium, that every time one of you sinned, it wore away my hope of being with her again. In time, I began to despise your kind for making her believe that you could ever be better than you are. But my rage was not born of malice, quite the opposite. Everything I have done, I did because I loved her. Who knew this empathy of yours, which you celebrate so much, could have such a dark underside? This has gone on too long. It is time for me to let go of this form, of her, of all of you. But know this, if I abandon the wager and leave for Elysium, neither she nor your kind may ever ascend.
我们只想回到城市。
Very well. I will have Charon make arrangements to ferry the others. But as for you, be aware you will be separated from the rest.
Why?
Once this exodus begins, the events that brought you to this moment will never have taken place, and you will have created a paradox. What will become of you is difficult to predict, but that is the risk you have taken by interfering in the natural flow of time. Now, are you ready?
Okay, let's go.
Farewell, mortal.
这是被逆推回去了。阿尔，哦，我们回到这个时间点是吗？然后阿尔在这边。
Oh. Hi there. Gave me a bit of a fright. Thought I was in here alone. I'm Al. Well, here I am. I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name. Oh, did that lady in the forest send you in here after me? I guess I lost track of time, learning about the history of this place, and it is extraordinary. I'm fairly certain you and I are the first people to set foot in this city for about 2,000 years. Fortunately for us, the last person in here was a Roman man named Galerius, who inscribed an account into a tablet. Apparently, there was a community of 20-something people trapped in here, and living in fear of a curse they called the Golden Rule. They believed that if even one person sinned, an unknown god would cast them all into gold, like the 1,000 people who lived here before. One day, just as Galerius had finished praying for a good harvest at the shrine of Proserpina, an oracle appeared and told him how to solve the ills of the city, and so on. Meanwhile, the Oracle walked up to the temple of the mysterious god, this one right here, and demanded an audience. And the doors just opened up to her. Nobody knows what went on in there, but Galerius wrote the Oracle must have been more persuasive than Odysseus, because the next thing he knew, the ground shook and the voice of that god rang out over the city. The many have suffered long enough. Unfortunately, Galerius' account just sort of stops after that, leaving a lot of questions unanswered. What became of him and the other people who lived here? What happened to all the golden statues? And did this mysterious oracle single-handedly undo the curse that had terrorized people for hundreds of years?
其实那个人就是我。我想不用讲这个，这没有人会相信的。
I don't know, it reads like an earnest account to me. Anyway, I think I found a way out through the aqueduct that brought water into the city. Follow me.
高架区啊，果然出去的路啊。哦，我想这就是 the end 咯，这就是 ending。
I'm gonna pause here for a moment and make sure nobody else has ever lured into this temple.
哦，把它锁起来。
You go on ahead, and I'll be there.
Okay, that's smart. Huh. Rogers 啊，很漂亮的。
You're back! But you're alone. Does that mean you didn't find out? Oh, what a relief. Thank you so much. I was beginning to think you'd both become trapped in there. Why don't you tell me what you discovered while we wait?
我知道你并不是自称那个人，我记得我曾在2000年以前见过。
Ah, I see. I thought you might. Well, now you know. I suppose you have questions. You can just call me Charon, if you like. I am sorry I was not completely honest with you when we first met. I do not enjoy deceiving people. Believe me, I do not. But I have learned, from 5,000 years of experience, that most people find comfort in familiarity, in gradual change, and coming to see the truth in their own time. That you died, of course. You were dead when I brought you here. My role, as the servant of the god of the underworld, has always been to assist the chosen to cross the threshold from the land of the living to the land of the dead. Usually, when people do not remember how they died, it is because they suffered a terrible trauma. Most souls would rather not remember. Ask yourself honestly, do you really want to know?
Yeah, I want.
As you wish. You were murdered. You were falsely accused of a terrible crime, and fled into the wild to evade your accusers. On your final night, you were offered sanctuary in the cottage of a stranger who gave you food and money, including, by accident, a coin of ancient origin. Unfortunately, you were apprehended and attacked by authorities. Your host leapt to your aid. You both fought bravely, but your assailants were armed, and you were not. There was nothing you or your ally could have done. He died instantly at the scene, and you followed a few hours later. That man's name
果然就是阿尔。
Worth.
以顺序来讲也是这样。
You were each in possession of a sacred coin, called Charon's opal by some, and so it was my duty to bring you here.
我说阿尔和我所持的银币是世界上最流，对，他也说过最后的2枚了。
It means I am now bereft of purpose. There is nobody else to ferry here. Nobody to keep you company. After 5,000 years, the underworld has finally run its course.
你可以去找下一份工作。
Perhaps you have heard the tales of the Greeks and Romans burying their dead with a coin. Well, those stories contain. A long time ago, my orders were simple.
这个在前面那个冥界之城已经讲过了，我想都跳过了。然后普鲁托说过我是最后一枚。
There is nobody else to fit.
又绕了一圈。
I see no point in keeping you here. But I have to ask one thing. That you keep this to yourself.
Look! Here comes Al now. Al! It's so good to see you. You were gone so long I thought I'd never see you again.
Kinda lost track of time in there. You wouldn't believe what we found. The ruins of a long-forgotten city. And there was a tablet describing an oracle who confronted a god and undid an ancient curse.
Sounds like quite a story. And I look forward to hearing all about it. But you two look exhausted. Why don't you hop in my boat and rest while I ferry you back to civilization?
Sounds good to me.
And you? Are you ready to go home?
Okay. The end. 哦，还有后日谈呢。这是博物馆吗？这应该是博物馆。
Hey, you made it. It's great to see you again. I read about your trial in the news. Congratulations on your acquittal. Still, I'm sorry you had to go through all that. Anyway, after everything you've been through, I thought you might appreciate some good news. So after we got back to the real world, I started doing some research into the people mentioned in Galerius's tablet. And I found something strange. I'm sorry I've been so cryptic. I've been dying to tell you. I just really wanted you to see this for yourself.
所以我把真相跟他讲了。
Head on down there. I'll catch
现
up with you
实
at the
世
other
界
end.
啊，他刚刚这么说。加列里乌斯。
Oh, hello.
哦，所以他们两个在一起了。
You're finally here. Remember me? It's a crazy story. After you disappeared, Karen appeared and told us she was returning us to the world. Even gave us some coins to help us start our lives over. Only, for some reason, she returned us to your world instead of ours. Anyway, I know we only ever had that one conversation, and I wasn't even sure if you'd remember me, but I wanted to say thanks for freeing us from the underworld and giving us a second chance at life. Oh, I used Karen's gift to buy a farm in Umbria. Got a villa on it too, with enough room for Dooley, of course. It's hard work, but I sleep soundly every night. I'm finally my own man, and I wouldn't change it for the world. I know! I can't believe my luck either. But we're engaged and living together. We're planning to get married next spring. If you're gonna be around, we'd love to see you there.
Yeah.
Of course, there's a whole museum full of people waiting for a chance to thank you, so you better keep moving. We'll speak again soon, my friend.
You're here. It's lovely to finally meet you. Galerius told me all about you. So, you're the hero who somehow vanquished the last of the Roman gods. As I'm a priestess, you realize you've put me out of work. I'm just teasing. Actually, and it still feels a little sacrilegious to say this, I'm finding life after religion quite enjoyable. Galerius and I are engaged and expecting. We've just bought a lovely villa in the countryside with room for a large family, and Dooley too, of course. It feels like the world has just opened up for us. There's so much to learn, and so many more possibilities for our children than we ever imagined. We're just so thankful for what you did for us, for all of us. Oh, it's sweet of you to ask. She recovered nicely. In fact, she's here somewhere, if you'd like to ask her yourself.
利维亚就是那个发疯的那一个。
See you at the wedding.
杜丽。
Hello. Galerius said you're very nice and a big helper. I live at Galerius and Equitia's house. They look after me now and help me remember when I forget. Treasure? Oh, I forgot about that. I like my box now. Galerius got me a box that tells stories. Bye-bye.
哦，这些东西就是在游戏里面看到，不过这个就没看过了。罗马长盾。
Hey. Evening.
头盔。
Hi there, I'm Horatius.
哦，军人啊，这是军服吧
I understand we have you to thank for giving us a second chance at life, and reuniting Centilla with us as well. I'm living up north and studying in the military academy. The world's changed a lot, but some things stay the same. Would you believe we're still studying military tactics from my time? Alex, still, I have to keep challenging myself to let go of all the ones who pioneered our paths. Aren't our masters, but our guides. Ah, you remembered that. Thank you. I grieved for a time, but that's done. In the words of Epictetus, as those who rode, remind yourself, your precious one. Thanks. Oh, and I don't know if you've heard. Great. He's not my... Oh, I see what you did there. Good one. He had more trouble adapting than most. He got himself disqualified from the UFC. So he started some kind of supposed appeal to people's baser instincts. And they say he made... But his luck finally ran out.
Ah,
and his life along with it. You're not... See you at...
啊，这个原本应该是医生的家伙。
You are here. Lucy is fine. I'm making an effort to blend in, as if the world knew we died 2,000 years ago and were suddenly brought back to life. Speaking of which, I wanted to say thank you in person. I'd say the gods smile on you, but I'm studying to get into medical school. As much as I resented the responsibility, when it ended, I realized I missed it. So I guess I'll just keep saving the world. Oh, she didn't make it. She died from poison while you were in the Great Temple. It was very sad.
我在想，如果一开始我还没有急着去那个地方的话，会发生什么事情
Decius is to blame. He's here somewhere too. Not that anyone would talk to him. I'm not even sure how he got invited. You too.
也许我不知道能不能阻止他们自杀，然后他们就会出现这里吗？也许吧。
I take it you're the... Actually, I changed my name to Cynthia. I didn't want to be associated with Sentius. I'm not sure if you heard, but after you drove Pluto off, she knew right away what none of us had figured out about that. But he's been dealt with. He's... Anything I want. I'm a woman of means in a vast new world. I can go wherever. Of course, I mostly just stay in my villa and have my servant Alexa summon things for me, because it's just... He's still there, all alone.
Oh,
the last golden statue in the underworld. Eternal torment.
他倒是曾经跟我说他想要永生。
You too.
他说那个赛弗那个 Severina 是出现的是很奇怪。
Greetings. You must be the legendary oracle. It is... I am told we have you to thank for freeing us from Hades. I am reacquainting myself with Greece. It has changed so much over the last 2,000 years, I barely recognize it. This is at once heartbreaking and thrilling. Perhaps one day, once I have seen all of this new Greece and sampled her delights, I will settle down in Santorini in a villa overlooking the Azure Aegean Sea. I hope you will join me there and regale me with the story of how you faced off against the fearsome god of the underworld and won.
卡隆给他们钱都超多的吗？
The poor
随
sweet
便都可以
thing
买别墅。
perished in a shrine collapse before the rest of us were saved. It is the one regret I have in all this.
Oh.
My friend, there is no... You too, my friend.
I take it you're the oracle everybody's talking about. It's a pleasure to finally meet
啊，这是那个老人。
We have. I'm sorry, I never thought I'd leave that cave,
菲力牛排。
let alone the city. And now I'm living in the 21st century. What? And it seems I'm working as a consultant to the Faculty of Classics at Cambridge University, helping fill the
啊，
odd
他确
gap
实是很
in
有学术啊。
Not that I need the money, but I do. My sins.
我在想，如果没有急着去的话，应该是可以搞定吧。该死的家伙！然后 ，Please keep off the furniture. Even clean hands can damage the fragile surface of these rare pieces. And you, piece of fucking shit, just.
Oh, hello at last. Listen, I wanted to express my sincere appreciation for what you did.
哦，所以这个古董也是你的吗？
Whatever you did in that temple made me a very well. Such a. I took the money I made from selling my trinkets and started investing in. In fact, I was hoping to ask your advice. I can't decide between fossil fuels, tobacco, gambling, and arms. Oh, don't be like that. You can tell your old pal Dacius. I won't take no.
DVD 租赁行业。
Of course, yeah. I was just thinking the same thing.
你等他妈陪我啊！你这家伙，我觉得是这也是应该要坏结局的。
Good evening.
You're here. I'm thankful that you're here. I was sure the person who... But thank you. I'm living in Rome again, in a charming little flat by the Tiber. And not far from my old place. After we lost Ulpius, I spent a lot of time reflecting on what I could have done differently. I couldn't shake the feeling. In the end, I decided to devote the rest... And...
Greetings.
Liwei.
Thank you for your kind words and for liberating us all. I'm recovering. Octavia was kind enough. She still talks fondly of you. Ah, you remember that. I'm a little tired of Ovid, but that's all right. I have 2,000 years worth of poetry to catch. I'm already up to the 19th century and am quite enjoying the work of a fellow named Poe. Men have called me mad, but the question is not yet settled whether madness is or is not the loftiest intelligence. And you...
Ah, 这家伙。
It is an honor to finally... You... Oh, of course. I too would like to offer my thanks for it. For a time, I returned to Alexandria, but they have no need of another fisherman. Instead, I have decided to follow the custom of your youth. I spent the first 25 years of my life avoiding the 42 sins that would deny me access to the afterlife. Indeed. Thank you.
Oh,
Hello there. Oh, I go by Gabriella now. I didn't want to be reminded of that monster every time I heard my own name. After you drove Pluto off, Proserpina came and released me, and that... I'm living by myself on a little vineyard in Umbria. It's something Ulpius and I used to talk about doing when we... But it's been... hard. Oh, it's hardly your... Thanks.
Oh, Wei.
It's so nice to... I wanted to thank you. I'm studying to be an architect again, and living in a beautiful flat in Rotterdam. Just, of course, it's improved immensely since I was there last. Gleaming futuristic buildings and clean streets full of educated, accepting people. You natives of the 21st century have no idea how fortunate you are. You too.
这句话倒是。那这些应该都是游戏里面的文物，除了这个以外。OK。
There you are. I hope you enjoyed that. Now, there's one more person I wanted to introduce you to. I think you know her.
我知道，就是那个神吧。
Sorry if I frightened you. Just a little joke I've been saving for a long... Allow me to introduce myself properly. I am Persephone, former goddess of the cycle of life and renewal. And now, I wanted to meet you in person. I hate to think what would have happened to us without... Indeed. Suffice it to say that while Pluto was controlling the eyes and ears, I was able to control their tongues. And I am sorry my messages were so cryptic. They were only ever brief. I did. I may have given up my immortality after witnessing Pluto punish countless poor souls, so I tried to give them a way to buy more time. A second chance. Rather, as many second chances as they needed to avoid his wrath. So I knew the danger of humans being corrupted by godly power. I required the creator of the portal to sacrifice their own life, so that it could only... What I did not anticipate is that Sentius would retain his accumulated memories from each previous day. And as he quickly discovered that he could, in effect, prolong his own life indefinitely. Of course, once I had taught him the prayer, I could not unteach him. And there was little I could do but wait for someone like we were all fortunate. I don't know what happened to him. I haven't heard from him.
夜之神不知道发生，应该是回去了吧？回到那个他们那个国度。
Oh, she inherited dominion over the underworld. Last time we spoke, she wouldn't say what it was. But I'd be surprised. And you. Oh, and one last thing. Good. Because they remember you. Well done, my friend. Of all the heroes who ever journeyed to the underworld and returned, none came close to achieving what you did. Hercules, Orpheus, Theseus, and Aeneas would be proud.
The canon ending， 4种结局之其4，确实有很多结局啊。Wow, what a game！ 能想象这是3个人开发出来的，花了4年的时间呢。Director, writer, designer, and producer by Nick Pierce. Programmer by Alexander Goss. Lead artist John Erie, I guess. 不简单啊。有时候真的就是会很怎么说，只有3个人做出来的 indie games， 然后可以做到这么好，让我想到 Cuphead， 也是我记得 Cuphead 也是好像2-3个人做出来的，还有一个叫做 Dark Woods 黑暗森林，一个恐怖游戏，那个也是我记得是2-3个人制造出来的。有时候只是这几个人而已，然后就能够做出这么恐怖的，就是这么厉害的规模的游戏，不简单啊。再反观看一下现今的很多3A 公司所制造出来的垃圾，唉，感叹啊。他们是真的用心，用尽自己的所有力气去制造出他们心目中的一款游戏，所以我觉得我们必须珍惜这些机会。We have to appreciate about that. This is a great game. 这是一个很好玩的游戏，真的还蛮不错玩的。然后故事其实也不错，没有什么特别好挑的吧。我觉得这个游戏的缺点就是 loading 的时间过长，就这样而已。其他的我觉得都还好。Impressive, and 这游戏才300多块钱，不简单啊，确实不简单啊。那也看到了好几个例子，像我刚刚提的 Cuphead 跟 Dark Woods 一样， 这两个游戏也不会贵到哪里去了。Cuphead 是因为它又做了很多商标化了，比较商品化了，贵一点，但是一样，它的价格也是跟3A 的游戏比起来差很多。然后 Dark Woods 的话，大概也是400-500块吧，就是因为这都是在人力仅限、规模仅限的程度下，但是这些游戏开发商、游戏的制造者，他们是怀抱着一个满腔热血去打造出自己心目中的游戏哦，我觉得这真的是难能可贵啊。反倒是好像，当你拥有了权力、拥有了资源之后，拥有了名声之后，好像做出来的东西反而是不如当初自己做的第一款游戏啊。也许是真的这样，值得反思吧。然后也值得遇到这些作品的话，确实就是要好好感激跟珍惜啊。然后这真的是一款不错的游戏，没有后悔玩啊。那只是唯一的后悔大概就是可能如果说当时在这个最终结局前，我把这个一些可以救的人都救起来，那也许当然我知道了，这应该也是同一个结局，就是第4结局。只不过就是你在你会看到更多的人跟你去互动，他们的其他人的结局会稍微有点不一样。那这整个游戏我觉得它剧情上都很怎么说，全心全意的去增加体验跟尽量不要产生出一些奇怪的剧情的悖论或者是错误。那确实我在这个整个剧情流程上，我的感觉确实也没有感觉都出很多什么像是什么 bug 之类的，至少我目前没有想到。一些剧情上的 bug 是没有的。那很多我一开始的疑惑，像是为什么一开始凯伦一开始我们只知道他是凯伦，他讲的话那么奇怪，又那么不符合逻辑。那在我们进去了之后，其实也很快就得到解释了。那所以，对，在剧本上，我觉得没有什么太大的问题。然后虽然最后面看到那个冥界之神的那个场景是有点很外太空啊，很那个，但是我可以理解啦，毕竟人家是神明嘛。然后使用这种未来风格的这种建筑物也是可以去理解的，只是有点突兀而已。然后也是有点这个一开始也是觉得怪怪的吧。不过我觉得这个突兀感跟违和感很快就消失了。那其中一个结局可能是3结局吧，我不晓得就是你跟这个就是我一开始第一次失败的这个例子，跟他互干之前啊，如果说是拿那个他的老婆来威胁他的话，是不是就是会进入第3结局呢？我不晓得，因为他是有暗示我说要什么跑到他的房间取了他的皇冠之类的，这个我就不知道是什么样的故事了，也不晓得会是什么样的结局呈现了。那至于第1结局跟第2结局，我就不晓得了。对，其中的结局，我想可能是你把那个桑德巫师杀掉吗？然后他就无法开启轮回，然后大家就一起死掉，变成雕像。可能这是其中一个结局吧。那还有个结局是什么？不断的失败，不断的失败，不断的失败，最后面可能跑出一个选项，走上跟阿尔一开始走的道路一样，自杀吗？会是这个结局吗？哦，不对，我想起来了，还有个结局就是你一开始找到他女儿那个桑迪亚，然后呢，找到了这个，你也拿到了钥匙，你把他释放出来之类的，或者是你把他释放出来，他把他老爸杀了，导致最后面的大结局，或就是全部变雕像，不然就是你自己逃离了，你自己离开那个门，然后舍弃了身后的这个世界的所有的人，也有可能。对，我觉得就是这样子的。第1结局是自己逃跑，不顾其他人的死活，那其他人当然就是被变雕像。第2个是透过某些方式，例如把他女儿释放，然后如果他老爸要出现，他女儿把他老爸杀了，然后我们大家全部人变雕像，这应该是第2个结局。第3个结局应该是在这个神明的跟冥界之人见面的时候惹怒他，然后引发开战的时候呢，拿他老婆的命来威胁。但是之后会发生什么事情我就不知道了，这件事情我就没有去实现，我不晓得，这个也无法去猜想。第4个结局就是这个结局了，也就是 canon ending。 对啊。Good luck, you guys！ 就是这个制作，这个3个人制作这个耗时4年做出来的游戏，确实是不容易。然后也确实看得出来，这个游戏，是在极少的人力跟这个以有限的资源做出来的，但是非常好玩。然后我觉得很棒，所以，对，如果之后他们有再出其他游戏，我应该也会去关注吧。那我想这游戏就到这边了。这就是遗忘之城了 The Forgotten City。那感谢各位的收看，这是一款非常好的游戏，然后也告诉了我们，如果说真的有怀抱热忱去制作一款游戏的话，哪怕是在这个有限的人力甚至是连资源都不足的情况下，还得花费很多的精力跟时间去完成。但是我想，这样出来的作品一定是一个佳作。那如果真的出现这个佳作的话，我们应该都要感恩啊，我觉得应该是要感激，然后继续珍惜。感谢收看，那我们下个影片再见了，拜拜。